We are almost a week away from the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival at Masterson Station Park.
I am so excited to announce this next guest. So today, Festival Director Sarabeth Parido joins us to tell us more about the event. And this woman needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. If you don't know who she is, of course she has an amazing business with some wonderful sheep, and she creates her own yarn. This right here is hers. Sarabeth, I could talk about you all day, but
awesome.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about the festival.
Well, this is our 14th festival, technically our 15th year, but we lost a little bit in there with COVID. So this is our 14th festival at Masterson Station Park. We do it at the same time it coincides with the classic dog trial, the stock dog trials that go on at the park at the same time, which is why we shared the park with them. They've been going on for over 50 years. We're on our 14th, so we're just excited to be there. We bring in 60 vendors, a lot of them local fiber vendors, different textiles, lots of things to see, live animals, demonstrations, shearing demonstrations, all sorts of things to see.
You know, that's amazing to me that there's a whole festival dedicated to it. That's how intricate and how deep this really is, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's a whole separate art form. Not only that, but I mean, it's just an amazing thing, right?
Oh yeah, I mean you have yarn spinning, which is one thing, but you can also have weaving, you have needle felting, wet felting, crochet. I mean, it is such a wide world of fiber art.
So I noticed that there were first, second, and third places, some ribbons there. Yeah. How do you figure out which one is, you know, first, second, or third? Like, are we going by yarn type, textures? What's happening?
That's a whole segment. It is by category, so it's broken down by the width of the yarn, the type of how you would want to use the yarn. So we have an art yarn category that can be wild. I mean, you get people that use the locks and coils and lots of different techniques to make their yarn special. And then you have yarn based on how many plies it has. So this is a 2-ply yarn, but there are multiply yarns. There's lots of ways to do it. Single ply yarn, which is just one single, which is more like this yarn here. So you've got lots of different styles of yarn, lots of different ways that people spin it, doing it on a drop spindle, doing it with a spinning wheel, doing it with an e-spinner. There's lots of different ways to do it. So we try to show a little bit of everything.
I just wanted to touch it. I wanted to grab it, especially after you kind of pointed that out. I mean, this is beautiful.
Thank you.
And this turns into whatever, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Whatever your imagination comes up with.
See, that's what's so amazing about it. So do we need tickets to show up to the event?
You buy at the gate, so admission is $5. Kids 10 and under are free. This year we're doing a special collection. We're partnering with an after-school program and a memory care facility in Lexington. 2 separate facilities, but we are going to be destashing. So destashing is a technical term for us fiber artisans, which is we get rid of our stash. So we tend to be fiber collectors when we get into this hobby. And so a lot of us have a lot of extra stuff that we have really good intentions to use that we never get around to. So we want to collect those up, as well as gently used knitting needles and crochet hooks. And we're going to donate those items to those aftercare, after-school programs and memory care facilities so that they have a chance to use those items and give them a second life. So that's called Destashed for Good. It's the first year we're trying this program, so we're really excited to be able to give back to the community as well. So anybody can bring in those items. We'll have collection bins throughout the festival.
And so, Sarah, you have created that scarf in front of you, have you?
I have not. This was knit by the fabulous fiber artists at Rebel Yarn Store here in Lexington, Kentucky. I just happen to be the lucky girl that gets to wear it.
The model.
Yes.
Love that. Now, let me ask you this: how can we find like local yarn? How do you go about even going and finding it? You know, instead of going to your traditional store, how can we find the stuff that's right here?
Well, first of all, you can come to the festival. There'll be a lot of local artisans there. You can visit our website. We have lots of information on our vendors there. We also have the Kentucky Fiber Trail, which is a online network. Similar, think the Bourbon Trail or the Ale Trail, any of the things they've got going on in trails here in Kentucky. We've also got one for fiber. So we've got one that you can find local fiber farms with fiber shops right there on their farm. You can go out, like you came out to our farm, you can come out to the farm, you can see the animals, you can see the experience. Then you can also find local yarn shops that carry a lot of local artisans in those yarn shops as well. Fiber festivals like the one that we're about to have, but lots of other ones. We're not the only one. We like to share the love and get everybody promoted. So you can find that on KentuckyFiberTrail.com as well. So lots of ways to get connected to the fiber world here in Kentucky.
That's some exciting news. You know I love it. Don't forget, so many opportunities for you to enjoy some of this wonderful fiber. You have the 18th and the 19th. And don't forget, tickets are $5, 10 and under are free. This will be at Masterson Station Park. Sarabeth, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's always
Love
a
to be here.
pleasure.
Thank you.